Welcome to Path Dynamic, the spot where excuses die and your potential wakes up. Around here, we don't play small. We grow, we grind, and we go after the life we were built for. This is your place to rise, level up, and rewrite your story. Let's move. Listen, everybody wants to win, but not everybody wants to face the mirror, and that's where the whole game starts. Right there. Not in some fancy seminar, not in some perfect moment, but in the simple question nobody teaches us to ask. Why not you? Yeah, you heard me. Why not you? People walk around acting like success is something other people get, like it's reserved for the lucky ones, the chosen ones, the people with shiny resumes and perfect timing. But let me put you onto something real. Nobody out here is chosen. They choose themselves. They wake up one day and say, yo, I'm done watching. I'm done wishing. I'm taking my shot. That's it. That's the switch. And the crazy part? You've had that same switch inside you this whole damn time, but we doubt ourselves. We hesitate. We let other folks' voices get louder than our own. Somebody told you once that you weren't good enough, and you believed them. Somebody laughed at your dream, and you shrank. Somebody underestimated you, and you made it your identity. But I'm here to wake you the hell up. They weren't talking about you. They were talking about their own limits, their own fears, their own ceilings. And you made that your truth, but not anymore. Because when you finally confront that question, when you sit down, breathe deep and whisper it to yourself, why not me? The whole universe shifts. Your perspective snaps. Your chest opens. Your confidence wakes up from a long sleep. You start realizing everybody you admire, every person you think is built different, every champion, every creator, every leader, they all started exactly where you are right now. Confused, uncertain, hungry, and a little pissed off. You want to know the real difference? They didn't let the doubt win. They didn't let the fear drive. They didn't wait for permission or applause. They didn't wait for someone to tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, now's your time. They made it their time. They pushed anyway. They failed anyway. They kept going anyway. And that's where your story begins too. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need a clear path. You just need one moment, this moment, to decide you're done being average. You're done being invisible. You're done talking yourself out of greatness. You've been capable all along. You've been powerful all along. So let's start here, right now, with one loud, unapologetic, life-changing question. Why not you? Let me tell you something most people never hear in their entire life. Your past is not a life sentence. It's not a cage. It's not a curse. And it damn sure isn't the reason you can't rise. Your past is proof. Proof that you've already survived things that would have broken other people. Proof that you've walked through storms without an umbrella and still made it here. Proof that you've got the kind of strength folks don't talk about because most people can't even imagine carrying what you carried. But here's the catch. Too many of us keep dragging the past like a ball and chain. We replay old mistakes like they're breaking news. We let moments that should have built us somehow bury us instead. And that's where you gotta snap out of it. You gotta wake up and realize that every scar you've got is evidence that you didn't fold. You know what's crazy? We act like our past disqualifies us when in reality it qualifies us. It shapes us. It sharpens us. It gives us grit. You think people who grew up with everything handed to them know how to grind like you? Nah, they don't. They didn't get baptized in the fire the way you did. They didn't learn how to fight for themselves. They didn't learn how to stretch one opportunity into 10. They didn't learn how to stand up after getting knocked on their ass. But you did, and that's why your past is your advantage. Listen, your pain made you patient. Your struggle made you strategic. Your heartbreak made you humble. Your failures made you fearless. Your losses made you hungry. All that stuff you wish never happened. That's the stuff that made the 2.0 version of you possible. That's the material greatness is built from. You cannot tell me you went through all of that just to live small. No chance. Some of y'all keep telling the wrong story about yourselves. You've mastered the art of remembering every moment you messed up, but you forgot the part where you kept going. Instead of saying, I failed, start saying, I learned. Instead of saying, I got hurt, say, I healed. Instead of saying, I'm broken, say, I'm building. Because every champion, every legend, every icon you look up to, they didn't get there because their past was perfect. They got there because they refused to stay the same person their past tried to turn them into. Your past will either be your anchor or your engine. You choose which. Maybe you came from a messed up family. Maybe you made mistakes you're ashamed of. Maybe life punched you in the gut before you even knew how to defend yourself. Maybe you lost people. Maybe you trusted the wrong ones. Maybe you had to grow up too fast. Maybe you started behind everyone else. Okay, but you're here now. You're breathing. You're watching this for a reason. That means your story isn't done. And don't forget this. People who start low often rise the highest. People who have nothing to lose usually gain the most. People who come from the dark learn to create their own light. So stop treating your past like a prison and start using it like fuel. Let it push you. Let it remind you who the hell you are. Let it light that fire in your chest. Because if you made it through all that, trust me, there is nothing ahead of you that you can't handle. Let's get real for a second. There's a reason only a small percentage of people actually break through in life. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's not even resources. It's mindset, the invisible engine that either drives your life forward or keeps it stuck in place like a busted old car with no gas. You ever notice how some people walk through life with this unshakable vibe? Like they just know they're meant for something bigger? They talk different. They move different. They make decisions with their chest, not with their fears. They don't operate like the rest of the world. Why? Because they got the mindset that says, I'm built for this. That mindset, that is the separator. See, most people run on a scarcity mindset, always thinking there's not enough time, not enough money, not enough chances, not enough confidence, not enough skill. They move like life is a buffet that's running out of food, so they grab whatever's closest and pray they don't starve. But the people who rise, they run on possibility mindset. They walk into the same room and say, yo, if it doesn't exist yet, I'll build it. That's the difference. A scarcity mindset keeps you safe. A possibility mindset makes you dangerous. And here's the part people don't like to hear. You cannot upgrade your life until you upgrade your identity. Not your clothes, not your job, not your followers. Your identity. You gotta stop acting like the person you were and start acting like the person you're trying to become. Before you get the success, you gotta think like the person who already has it. Before you get the money, you gotta move like someone who respects money. Before you get the opportunity, you gotta prepare like someone who expects opportunities. Because identity creates behavior and behavior creates outcome. You can't cheat that formula. You can't finesse it. Life doesn't work like DoorDash. You can't order success and expect it in 30 minutes or less. There's a shift you gotta make. A quiet one. A mental one. Hey, nobody knows what I'm doing right now, but I'm building myself in the dark kind of shift. It's the shift where you go from, I hope this works, to, it's going to work, and I'm willing to grind until it does. Let me hit you with something else. Belief always comes before evidence. Always. People think confidence shows up after they get results. Nah. Confidence is the reason they get results in the first place. You don't start working out because you already look good. You work out because you believe you can become that person. You don't start a business because you're guaranteed to win. One radical ownership. Stop blaming the economy, your family, your past, or your circumstances. You take responsibility for your next level, even if you're not responsible for what happened before. 2 micro wins every day. Forget trying to make giant leaps overnight. Stack tiny wins. Read 10 minutes. Learn 1 new skill. Work out 20 minutes. Send 1 email. Take 1 step forward. Those little wins multiply. They stack up into momentum, and momentum, that's the closest thing to magic you'll ever feel. Because once you get moving, truly moving, nobody can stop you. Not your past. Not your fears. Not your doubts. Not your haters. Not even you. And that's when you separate yourself from the many and join the few. The ones who don't wait for life to happen. The ones who make life happen. So ask yourself right now, are you still thinking like the old you? Or are you ready to step into the identity of the 2.0 version of yourself? The one who doesn't hesitate, doesn't doubt, and doesn't settle. Because the mindset shift is simple. Stop asking, what if I fail? Start asking, yo, what if this actually works? Everybody wants the spotlight, but nobody wants the dark room. And that's funny, because the dark room is where every masterpiece is created. Old school photographers know the deal. A picture doesn't show up instantly. It starts as nothing, just a blank, undeveloped image sitting in darkness. But over time, with pressure, focus, and patience, It becomes art. Greatness works the exact same way. See, a lot of people think leveling up is loud, like it happens on stages in front of crowds with applause and attention and "you did it" energy. But that's not how it works. That's just the part people see. The real work, the real grind, the real transformation, it happens in silence. When nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when nobody's hitting like or commenting fire emojis, it happens in the dark. The dark room is where you stay disciplined even when your results aren't showing yet. It's where you do the reps nobody else wants to do. It's where you study while everyone else scrolls. It's where you put in hours while others sleep. It's where you grind with no recognition, no validation, no guarantee. The dark room is where the 2.0 version of you is born. But most people will never see that version of themselves because the dark room feels uncomfortable. It feels lonely. It feels slow. It feels like nothing is happening. And that's where people bail. That's where they fold. That's where they quit. They want microwave success, but life is built in a slow cooker. Listen, winners aren't made in glamorous moments. They're made in the unsexy hours. The boring hours. The private hours. The damn no one even knows how hard I'm working hours. Everybody wants the spotlight, but nobody wants the dark room. And that's funny, because the dark room is where every masterpiece is created. Old school photographers know the deal. A picture doesn't show up instantly. It starts as nothing, just a blank, undeveloped image sitting in darkness. But over time, with pressure, focus, and patience, it becomes art. Greatness works the exact same way. See, a lot of people think leveling up is loud, like it happens on stages in front of crowds with applause and attention and "you did it" energy. But that's not how it works. That's just the part people see. The real work, the real grind, the real transformation, it happens in silence. When nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when nobody's hitting like or commenting fire emojis, it happens in the dark. The dark room is where you stay disciplined even when your results aren't showing yet. It's where you do the reps nobody else wants to do. It's where you study while everyone else scrolls. It's where you put in hours while others sleep. It's where you grind with no recognition, no validation, no guarantee. The dark room is where the 2.0 version of you is born. But most people will never see that version of themselves because the dark room feels uncomfortable. It feels lonely. It feels slow. It feels like nothing is happening. And that's where people bail. That's where they fold. That's where they quit. They want microwave success, but life is built in a slow cooker. Listen, winners aren't made in glamorous moments. They're made in the unsexy hours. The boring hours. The private hours. The damn no one even knows how hard I'm working hours. You ever notice how people hype up someone after they blow up? Oh, they came out of nowhere. No, they didn't. They came out of the dark room. They just hid the grind so well that by the time the world saw them, they looked like overnight success. But nothing about their process was overnight. You don't see the 3 a.m. mornings, the failed attempts, the doubts, the breakdowns, the sacrifices, the lonely nights where they questioned everything. But they kept showing up. Every single day. No excuses, no complaining, no quitting. Because the dark room produces monsters and the kind of people who become unstoppable. See, the dark room strips away your ego. It exposes your weaknesses. It shapes your discipline. It builds your patience. It forces you to face yourself. It humbles you, but in the best possible way. It teaches you the one skill every successful person has mastered: delayed gratification. But the 2.0 version of you is being developed in ways they won't understand until it's too late. Stay in the dark room. Your glow-up is coming, and it's going to blind everybody who doubted you.